Hi, welcome to Trucking TV. I'm Chris. This is our Saturday morning special. If you were watching our live show on Thursday, or if you took a look at our interview video with Malcolm Bingham of the Freight Transport Association that was put online yesterday, you would remember, or you will remember, that there is a second part to this interview, and I'm going to read you out in a moment a little bit that we refer to in it, because it looks as if, and only looks as if, the government is a little bit more behind the idea of improving truck parking than many people think it is. Whether their being behind truck parking will help at all remains to be seen. But it transpires in our conversation with Malcolm Bingham that, in fact, local authorities do have more of an obligation now to consider truck parking when they're making planning decisions. Last summer, the government brought out a document called the National Planning Policy Framework, I think is the full name. And one of the paragraphs in it, paragraph 107, said precisely this: planning policies and decisions should recognise the importance of providing adequate overnight lorry parking facilities, taking into account any local shortages to reduce the risk of parking in locations that lack proper facilities or could cause a nuisance. Proposals for new or expanded distribution centres should make provision for sufficient lorry parking to cater for their anticipated use. In effect, what the government seems to be saying in this paragraph is that when planners are actually looking at new plans, whether it's for warehouses, whether it's for factories or whatever, they need to start taking account of the needs of the transport industry that serves those areas. This is something that we think has been really lacking from the background of planning or industrial planning across the country. So here we go. Let's have a listen to Malcolm Bingham from the FTA.
We don't necessarily support specific truck parks, but what we support is a concept of it. So if those operators come to us, we'll help them if we can by saying it's the right thing to do. And I want to point something out that happened last year in the National Planning document. 107 says planning policies and decisions should recognise the importance of provision of adequate overnight lorry parking facilities, taking into account any local shortages to reduce the risk of parking in locations that lack proper facilities or could cause a nuisance. So there's a duty on those local authorities to do it. I find very often the planning officers themselves are looking for that sort of help, and looking for the help from us. And we were really pleased when the Minister said in October of last year, in a statement, that he was going to get Highways England to use their expertise to help the local authority planners where it's necessary to put these things in place to help them through that process. XLB was brilliant. He stayed with it for 10 years. I've seen developers walk away in that period and use their money somewhere else. Right. So we need to do that. But it isn't just truck parks, it's other facilities as well. What we recognise, the industry's got to take a part in this. We've all got a duty to play in all of this. And when developers are opening up new industrial estates, how many times do they think about the queues of trucks they're going to get trying to get in and out of there? Who might need to use the loop, who might need overnight parking because they had to get there early, for the next morning. Not many, I would strongly suggest, and they should be doing that. And I'm not saying they've got to build a lorry park. They've looked to the developer to put that provision in place. And if they don't do it, the developer's going to put the biggest shed they possibly can on that site and ignore the requirements for facilities.
Is there any way that can be made part of the planning process, i.e. if you put in for planning permission for a new industrial park, should you not have to provide as part of that package parking for the vehicles that service the park?
They should at least look into the requirement for it.
Right.
Local authority planners best know what they've got in their area. But if they don't even consider it at the beginning of the process, it'll just be ignored. So they should, you're absolutely right, they should, right at the beginning of that planning process, start to factor in, is there a need for parking here? What do we need? And has the developer considered that in their process?
Are there any reasonably easy fixes that the industry, one or two, that councils can actually apply to help to make it better? I'm not looking for an instant fix, but I'm looking for some way that they can actually try and make life a little bit easier for the people we depend on for the goods.
I think there are three. First one is when people are expecting deliveries from commercial vehicle drivers, they shouldn't bar them from using facilities on their sites. And that's happened far too often, usually with some form of health and safety excuse behind it. But I know the health and safety executive don't believe that's true, and are taking enforcement action against some of those people who are doing that to drivers.
Right.
And that'll help, because that's sometimes just the provision that's needed. There is a process going on with some motorway service area operators who are looking to increase the amount of parking facilities that they can get. And we know that Highways England are supporting those moves where the application is being made on or close to the strategic road network.
Right.
And thirdly, Highways England are looking at land that they own already to see if it's in the right place to offer to developers to be able to open up new parks. That land belongs to Highways England. There will be a planning process to go through. That's so it's not that immediate, but surely it won't be this 10-year period that the ex-Ubbies had to face when they were doing Lehman Bar.